Hey, Canada, did you know that there were 4 by-elections this week? You didn't, because it was status quo. 2 Liberals, 2 Conservatives, no change in the makeup of Parliament Hill. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Fraser, MacDonald, and Brian Lilley. So I say that, Brian, because I don't think most people knew that there was a by-election, very low voter turnout, but certainly an interesting story to watch, with the Liberals hanging on to the 2 seats that they expected to, the Tories hanging on to the 2 seats that they were expected to, and the NDP nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. The NDP vote collapsing in places like Oxford. That went to the Liberals, and that's what the Tories have to worry about if they want to be able to form government. Oxford is a riding in southwestern Ontario. It's strongly conservative. The candidate there is being questioned. Oh, is Pierre's messaging resonating? They only won by 7 points. Yeah, the guy went down. He was accused of being a parachute candidate. The former MP, who was a conservative, campaigned for the Liberals because he was upset that Tories didn't just give the seat to his daughter. So there's a lot of local stuff going on. They still won by 7 points. The interesting thing for me, Maxime Bernier's party, the People's Party, they're kaput. Like they got below 4% in 3 of those ridings, below 1% in one of them. And Bernier, he did worse than his no-name candidate. Sorry, Solomon Weep. He did worse than him in the by-election. They put all the resources into Portage, Lisgar, and Manitoba, very conservative place. Bernier saying, we're the real conservatives. And the voters said, no, you're not. You're lunatics. We're not voting for you.
It does seem, Fraser, that Mr. Bernier has decided that he is just going to be the perennial losing candidate now with the People's Party. And let's be clear, in the last couple of federal elections, the People's Party could have been spoilers in certain ridings, where it was a split between conservative and liberal, where the Tories saw, a loss of support from 7, 8, 10,000 votes going to People's Party. I don't know if that's going to be the case in the next federal election. But let's pivot away from that and just sort of talk about the NDP for a moment. We've all sort of joked that the NDP should just fold themselves into the Liberals at this point, not only because Jagmeet Singh has basically handed over the keys to the party over to Justin Trudeau with this goofy support he maintains, but the Trudeau Liberals really are looking more orange than red these days anyway.
Well, from a pure political math perspective, that's always been an interesting proposition. I think if you talk to people who have a deeply held political philosophy on the left, I don't agree with them, but they have deeply held views, and the Liberals do not express those views very often. The Liberals are a brokerage party in the center who sort of morph themselves to which way the wind is blowing that week, and it's incredibly effective for holding power. The NDP, like the Conservatives, have core values and deeply held views, and I just don't see how they can actually mesh themselves together with a Liberal Party in its current form. So, it would be convenient for both of them on the current math to combine forces and not run candidates against each other. I just don't see it happening. It is a concern. I would say, people saying, oh, Poilievre underperformed his numbers compared to whatever election. I'm not buying any of that. I'm not reading into any of those types of things. If I was the Conservatives and looking for something to worry about, it is the weakness of the NDP vote,
yes.
Which means that voters are shifting over to the Liberals, and that's going to make it difficult for them to win some of those marginal seats in places like the 905.
Well, it certainly spells an interesting time for our next federal election. Go to Facebook and Twitter, let us know what you think, and go to theTorontoSun.com. Hit that subscribe button. You're going to find stories and coverage like this that you will not find anywhere else.